please do. I mean, if you have an overlay for your character, that'd be super helpful.
Currently in the making.
Okay.
And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Darkness in Dublin. This evening, there are two Canaanites who are sharing a very common interest and pursuit, one in occult knowledges. These two Canaanites are making their individual ways to rendezvous at the at the currently under construction Elysium that is to be located by St. Patrick's Cathedral. Our first character we'll turn to is the Toreador, Charlotte. Charlotte, how has your character prepared herself for the journey ahead in this evening?
Okay, so she has driven herself to the St. Patrick's Cathedral. Normally she would be driven by her ghoul, but she's become rather accustomed to driving herself so as not necessarily endanger her ghoul. Um, she's driving a really nice late model luxury town car. Has a really nice matte black paint job. Really nice, freshly cleaned rims. It's immaculate. Um, um, as far as weaponry goes, because she's always armed, she is carrying a rather special blade with her that is it's made from soul steel. And it was a given to her by Clan Giovanni as um, a major boon that she had garnered from them. Um, so she has that, and she also has um, she has a switchblade tucked into her boot. Um, she's or probably maybe not her boot, but it's hidden on her person at this time. Um, she's dressed much as you would expect a Toreador to be dressed. She's dressed rather fashionably, but not fashionably in a modern sense, but more of a classic sense. She's since Sebastian has never met Charlotte officially. Charlotte is a petite, well, not petite. She's short. Um, and young redheaded woman. She looks to be maybe somewhere in her early 20s, maybe. And she is she has really amazing red hair. That is one of the features about her that stands out the most is she has absolutely amazing red hair. Um, she is wearing high heels with a really nice skin tight dress. Um, that's probably linen, maybe, but it's all of her clothes are tailored to her. But yes, she is armed at the moment. She has to be precise, just so the narrator knows, she has three knives on her at the time being. Um, and she's been to the St. Patrick's Cathedral before. Um, and she will be waiting inside.
Okay. I mean, aside from her very attractiveness, there's nothing out of the norm. You could stand there without being pretty much.
Um, she has sanctity as one of her
Hmm.
merits.
Hmm.
She also has blush of health as
Hmm.
one of her merits. She has natural leader as one of her merits, and she has enchanting voice. as one of her merits. Those are all of her physical merits. Um, that you can see. Anyways.
Okay. So yeah. I mean, aside from that, streets aren't necessarily empty, but they're not doing anything very conspicuous. So let's go to Sebastian. Sebastian, what are your preparations for the night, and how are you getting there?
It's fairly simple. Sebastian is coming there through the emergency exit, as it serves as a two-way function in the case that anyone knows of its whereabouts. So he will already be inside when she arrives. Uh, he will be dressed as the picture I linked in basic jeans, a white button-up shirt, and a fairly fancy jacket.
Okay. Um,
Although it doesn't look like he's done much to improve his appearance.
okay. So if he's already there, you'll see her walk in. Um, and she'll scan the room. Um, I would also when she walks in, I am using Auspex to sense the unseen. So if there's a Nosferatu or anybody using Obfuscate with level 3 or lower, she will see them. Paranoia. It's a thing.
There is no one currently, other than if Sebastian were to choose to.
No, Sebastian
Yeah.
has nothing to hide at the moment as he's so new, so he's not hiding from anyone.
Okay. So yes, you'll see her walk in. She looks very much she's not dressed in the same way as the overlay, but she looks very that is how she looks. Um
Yep.
so she will she'll walk over to Sebastian and she'll introduce herself. Is he standing or sitting?
He's standing.
Okay, so she'll
He
walk
would
over to him.
by now he would be standing.
Okay, so she'll walk over to him and she'll extend a hand, um, and introduce herself, and she'll say, Sebastian, yes.
That is true. I'm Sebastian, and he will
Uh,
introduce himself properly as well, along
yes,
with
I'm
a slight bow.
I'm Charlotte Monroe of Santoridor. I believe we spoke on the phone.
Indeed, we did.
Um, it's a pleasure to meet you. And um, she'll take a seat in one of the pews. You'll actually notice when she enters the church, she crosses herself, which is a little strange. You're not used to seeing um Kindred do that, probably. But since he's so new, he might not experience that yet. But yes, since this is a Catholic church, when she walks in, she does cross herself. Um, so
He pays no notice to it, as to him, religion is just a waste of time.
okay. Um, so it's just simply a matter of habit for her because she has a Catholic background. Um, but um she'll take a seat and motion for him to sit down next to her.
Sebastian's going to do that and sit down,
So
considering that it would be the most logical path to take at the moment.
of course. And you'll notice that when she speaks, she has a London accent, if that means anything to him. Um, and she'll say, so, Keeper Rothschild has suggested to me that I assist you in finding this book.
I see.
The, the, what is it?
Visions
But
beyond
she'll
the
she'll
veil.
she'll mention she'll say the name of it.
Yeah, Sebastian will not. That would be mostly appreciated, considering I am fairly new to this area,
Of course. Have you
as well as
been?
to kindred society.
Oh, so you're a fledgling.
Not exactly. I have been around. Just it turns out that the person who decided to turn me forgot the most basic parts, which the former prince has seen fit to allow Alexander to teach me.
Oh, so you are under Alexander's tutelage. I wasn't aware of this.
No, it's not something that I like to show around. It's more that
I
it might
I can I
be
can
important
understand that.
for working with me.
Of course. Sorry, as a player, I can't really hear you that well. So could you like speak up a little bit?
Oh, sorry, just move the microphone closer.
That's okay. And she'll nod. And so she will say, "Do you have any idea of where we should begin our search?"
I was told of the person who currently holds the book that he frequents a place here in Dublin where it would be possible
Uh,
to meet him during one of the nights.
okay. Um,
I'll. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just allow you to. I'll elaborate for you since this is now. I'm going to flesh out the information that you've been given.
Yep.
okay.
So, Sebastian, you'll relate to Charlotte that essentially this isn't a very famous person, but probably someone more sub-famous. You found small bits of information of this person online. For all intents and purposes, the person appears to be mortal. You've seen pictures of them during the day. Now, I'm not going to say that
Okay.
is not impossibly something that could be faked, right? But um, you just know that they are somewhat of a collector of books and odd things related to literature. Though their online presence isn't really that great beyond those certain spheres where you can find and buy and trade such related items. Um, their house, you could pretty sure easily find on Google Maps. Not that it's quite listed, but it doesn't really look like anything surprising. It's a little ways
No,
off in the suburb.
we weren't
Okay.
given the address to his house, more to the place that he frequents and meets with
Oh,
others with shared interests, it seems.
oh, okay. Then, all right. Sorry. Let me redact that. Yeah. Then the type of place you would find him at is, I would say a little bit, somewhat of an upscale kind of book. It's not quite open to the public, more like a membership um, design place, though the public
What
could
what
apply.
what kind of place is it?
Uh,
Is
I
it
would
is
say,
it like
mhm.
sorry, is it like a nightclub or a restaurant or something?
it's
Um,
it's kind of it's hard for me to kind of put this in when it comes to zoning laws as far as it's not a business, but it's also not a residential property.
I
It's
think
something.
the
Hmm?
closest might be something like a country club, like a golfer's club
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, something like that. Like I said,
Okay.
members have access to
Mm-hmm.
the place. The public
Right.
could apply for membership, but it's not public.
And you could probably get in by being either invited by someone who's already going there or invited by the management.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So Charlotte is very, very good at this kind of thing. Um, she has an extreme, like not extremely high, but she has a pretty decent presence. Um,
Matter of fact, both of you, how old are your characters?
I'll let him go first.
Well, Sebastian doesn't really know his true age, but he appears to be in his early 30s.
And you, Charlotte?
Do you want total age or do you want how long she's been kindred for?
Oh, how long she's been kindred for? Yeah, I meant how long you guys been undead.
She's
True
been
age.
undead since 1888.
Okay.
Part of Sebastian's insanity is that he doesn't remember when he was turned, but it's from the 20th century.
Let's see. You said the turn of the 20th century, Sebastian?
No, it's like he grew up in the computer age.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, Charlotte. Then, you want to roll me a intelligence? Yeah, either an intelligence streetwise or an intelligence occult.
Um,
All right, do you need me to roll it for you?
I am gonna need you to roll it for me. So I have intelligence 3. I'm gonna probably lean more on streetwise for this, but I am gonna burn a willpower for it.
Okay, so how many dice is that?
That's 4 dice plus the automatic success from the willpower.
Okay, I'm looking at 4 success here. Yeah.
Okay.
So as the kind of place that he's frequented, that Sebastian has tried to describe to you, you recall things like this, especially around the Roaring Twenties. These kind of occult societies like Madame Blavatsky and things like that. Just when you have individuals with interests and money coming together, they can easily flaunt it in public, and yet no one really knows what they're up to. So
Okay, so when you say they're flaunting money, is it like old money or is it more new money?
you would be certain that it's definitely old inherited money,
It's
and
definitely old money.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, so in that case, um, she's gonna tell Sebastian, "You're gonna need to change." um, um, what kind of frame does Sebastian have? Is he more like lean or is he more like buff, muscular?
He's probably more lean. He's about 6 feet too tall.
Okay. Um, do you have anything nice to wear?
No, I think this is the best I have. I haven't really had much reason to have anything supposedly nice.
Okay. So, in that case, Charlotte, we're going shopping. She's gonna basically buy you something appropriate to wear to this place.
Yep.
Charlotte does have resources for just for um mechanic's sake. So it is pretty nice. Whatever color he wants, charcoal gray, blue, black, whatever. Um, and I would like to kind of case the place a little bit if we can. I'd like to see what kind of people are going in, what kind of people are coming out, um, that kind of thing.
We
So
could do
I'm
that.
not sure. I'm not sure if you're necessarily ready to leave the Elysium to go and do that. But if you wanna like skip forward, say we go buy the suit, you put it on, we drive there.
We could do that, and then we could go have a first initial look at the place.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Um, so um, what she's wearing is would I guess be considered acceptable for these kinds of places. She looks like she dresses rather uppity, I guess, like really
Yep.
nice. But her demeanor is a little bit different from how she dresses. Um, so for for the sake of the scene, I guess the idea that we have is we're gonna go get him a suit, and then we're gonna drive there. I'm gonna park the car a little bit away from the area or like the building. Um, and um, um, kind of just like case the place a little bit. Like I said, I want to see what kind of people are coming in. I want to see what kind of people are coming out. Um, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Does that sound good to you?
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Sebastian's gonna offer to take pictures, and then he's gonna pull out a fairly new phone.
Okay. She'll actually she'll hand she didn't bring like surveillance equipment. Um, but she probably has no, I mean if you've got like a decent phone for taking pictures and that sort of thing,
Yeah,
that's fine.
Sebastian would have one.
She doesn't really need that. Um, so when we get there, um, I have what is it? Acute senses sight, and I'm gonna activate heightened senses sight um to kind of uh since we're parked a little bit of ways from the place. Do we know what this person looks like?
Hmm.
I think
Uh,
we would have a somewhat of an idea.
Okay. Um, so I'd like to um see while we're waiting, see if he comes in or goes out.
Fair enough. Just to add for flavor of the scene. You guys were able to acquire Sebastian some new threads.
Yep.
Didn't take very long, and I'll still say that this place it's near the outskirts of the city proper. You know, it's kind of
Okay.
somewhere in the suburb.
Mhm.
And again, it doesn't look very nondescript, but you could see, you can make out that it is a house that sits behind a small retaining wall that has certain symbolic decorations and the name of the group. I'll supply you with the name of the group when I have one.
Okay.
Sorry, a lot of names to make up on the fly, but
Question.
yes,
Can I make a wit plus a cult check or an
sure.
intelligence plus a cult check to see if I know anything of like what those symbols mean?
hmm
Which would you prefer, wits or intelligence?
I would say wits. So it's kind of
So
on the spot. Yeah.
so can somebody roll 5 dice for me, please?
Uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it just a diff 7.
Okay.
And oh, there you go, 2 success. All right. Um, you might not understand the full meaning behind how they are utilizing these symbols, but you do recognize very the basis of these
Okay.
symbols. You know that
Mm-hmm.
most of them are related to knowledge and the pursuit of it. You see many Promethean figures about the place, and I would say that you can easily tell that symbols of light and fire are being used to represent knowledge here.
Okay.
I can give you that.
Legitimate. Um, okay. So in that case, um, since she's looking at the symbols on the walls, um, while she's looking, because she does have heightened senses activated, does she see the subject in question?
Hmm. So you're just overlooking the place from the outside.
Essentially, yes. I want to see if he's coming in or going out.
All right.
And if that's the case, if he's coming out, I want to know if he's leaving. If he's going in, I want to know what kind of car he's driving, and I want to know the license plate number.
Okay. So let's say you first kind of scan over the building, and you're sitting from a car, or you guys just like standing out in the open
Um,
looking.
um, Charlotte actually might be hmm. I would say it's possible that while Sebastian's character or Sebastian is taking pictures, Charlotte will be uh standing outside of the car pretending she's smoking a cigarette.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So, how much lost specs do you have?
3.
Three.
But I have acute senses, and that's stacked.
Stack, right? So that'd be -1 plus your height and senses. That's about -4. I'll make this a even diff 6. Because I mean, it's just to be fair, it's not quite Superman X-ray vision looking through cement blocks, but you should
Of course.
definitely be able to pick up details. So, what is your perception? Um, Give me a perception investigation here, since you're looking for clues and signs of life.
That is 5 dice.
5 die. Okay, not bad. 2 success. You can tell that there is someone on the inside. From with your heightened senses, you can see like the trail of the breath of someone coming out of a window. You can tell that this is like a trail of either some kind of condensed air, most likely guess with the haziness of it, looks a little
Okay.
brown. Probably coming from another human being, like
Okay.
well, not like yourself, but in a way that might be smoking.
Right. Um, with what's the security like around here?
In the whole neighborhood or in the building itself?
Just like do they have like a security station that you have to pass through when you go into the building or like
Um,
onto the property?
no, there's no like security guard, but there is like a buzzer and a gate. There's a keypad that looks like it needs a code, and there is a fence that is locked and leading that would lead you to the front door of the facility. I'll give this to you for free since you had your specs turned on. You can also make out some security cameras.
How many?
From what you're facing,
Mhm.
I'll say that there's at least 2. You could see one aimed at the doorway and one
Okay.
at the west corner of the building that kind of is, excuse me, that's kind of aimed towards the street.
Okay. Um, what is Sebastian doing right now? Because I feel like I'm taking like over a lot of the scene, and I don't want to do that.
He's observing and making sure to take pictures of everyone who enters, as any
Okay.
person could technically be a person of interest in finding a way to get in.
Okay. Um. All right. So. Um. Hmm. I'm probably this is gonna be interesting because as a player I've never done this before. Um, with how many like how frequently do people pull into the um the property?
Um, Depends on how long you want to wait.
I'd say a good quarter of an hour, so about 15 minutes.
I would say you might see one individual come in.
Okay. Are they coming in alone?
Oh yes, yes, they come in alone.
Okay.
Are you trying to hide from them when you see someone coming, or just standing there nonchalantly?
um, I'm I'm pretending that I'm like the car's pulled over to the side of the road.
Mhm.
Charlotte's pretending that she's smoking a cigarette. She's looking at her phone. Um, kind of nondescript, like she's just like scrolling through Instagram, looking at posts and shit. Um, essentially. So she just pretty much she's just pretending. But she is paying pretty close attention to that gate. So the person that is coming in alone, they're
Mhm.
driving, correct?
You don't see them drive. You just see that they round the corner and are walking up to the gate.
Okay. Is it a man or a woman?
It's a woman. She looks somewhere. I'll give you between her 50s and 60s, but she does not. But she looks very energetic. I'll give you that.
Okay. Um, how is she dressed?
Very conservatively. I'd say she has on a very long black coat. You could tell stockings and
Okay.
pumps. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so Charlotte's gonna tell Sebastian, I'll be right back. And
Sure.
I'm gonna walk over across the street to her, and I'm gonna try and get her attention. I'm gonna burn a blood. Do we need to make feeding checks?
Uh, I'll let you make rolls now and say that you did it before
Okay, so I need a
during your preparation.
charisma 8. I've got domain, so it's -2 for the difficulty. So it's 8 dice with difficulty 5, please.
Blood points. Unfortunately, you scored a 2, an 8, a 1, a 5, a 6, a 3, a 3, and a 2.
Okay. So difficulty 5. Can you like tell me how many actual successes I got?
Um,
Sorry.
with the 1, you only got 2 success.
Okay, so I'm gonna be starting the night with 7 blood. Then that's okay. All right.
That's charisma and what more?
Are you a social or physical hunter?
Probably an asocial hunter. I've not
What?
thought into that.
So is he hunting socially or physically? I'm sorry, I didn't really understand you.
He would
Um,
probably be more of a physical hunter, considering he prefers his own company usually.
Okay. I'm not so sure about the rules on that because I'm not a physical hunter. I hunt socially. So I think it's like strength and brawl or something like that. That many dice plus if you have domain, that's subtracted from the difficulty. If you have something like presence, for awe maybe, that will subtract an additional 2 from the difficulty. Actually, I don't know. No, presence, that's for social. I'm not really sure what the rules are for physical hunting. I think you'd have to look it up.
I don't think I know the rules for that either.
uh,
They are on the website, the forum.
do you need me to look that up for you?
I'm just looking here,
Oh.
feeding. Let's just see.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I think it's Dex and Brawl.
Okay. So it'd be how many dice you have for Dex, plus how many dice you have for Brawl.
Probably only have 2 dice then.
Okay.
3 for that one, and none in Brawl.
Um, do you have dots and domain?
1.
Okay, so the difficulty starts at 7, I think. So you're gonna subtract the dot that you have for domain from the difficulty.
Yep.
So that would make it difficulty 6. And so you're gonna roll however many dice, and however many successes you get to add that many points to your blood pool.
So that would be my dexterity only since I don't have any brawl. Let's see if I'm lucky today. That should be 2 successes if I count correctly.
Okay, so you start the evening with 5, and if you feed, you're gonna add the 2, so that'd put you at 7 blood.
Yep.
All right, so we are at the same amount of blood right now. All right, so like I said, I would like to cross the street, and I'm gonna burn a blood to activate awe.
Hmm.
Now,
Let's
so
see. And
so essentially, I want her attention, more or less. I want her to be paying attention to me and nothing else.
okay. So I'm a little unfamiliar with the mechanics of awe. It's like what charisma and performance. Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm not actually sure. Hold on. Call might drop. I'm gonna let you know right now.
Yeah, 'cause I haven't played V20 in a minute. I don't think I have
That's
the
okay.
books anymore.
I'll pull up Google and open the rule.
And Sebastian, what are you? What is your reaction? You see this woman walking by. And
He's
what?
gonna look after her for a moment before he's gonna turn back to his phone, making sure he has a proper picture of her. Then he's gonna start looking up the club online, seeing if it has any social ties to clubs in other countries or something.
Excuse me, just rolling something real quick.
Okay. So it doesn't tell me what the dice pool is, but it tells me what the power does.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. I should be more familiar with these things, but I'm not, unfortunately. I'm a bad Toreador.
How stealthily were you trying to be with that picture you were taking?
How what?
How stealthily or obvious were you being about taking that picture?
I'm thinking he's trying not to be too obvious about it, like acting like he's looking something up on his phone when he's taking it.
Okay. Do you have performance at all?
I do not. I have subterfuge.
I think
That's not.
subterfuge would maybe be better, but performance would I
No,
don't know.
I wouldn't. To me, if you're like physically trying to conceal what you're doing, subterfuge isn't that. You could roll just your basic stealth for that, like trying to pull like a sleight of hand or just basic concealment, as you're not trying to be so obvious. But subterfuge is more interactive.
Oh,
Okay, that makes sense.
I may be at a real disadvantage because I don't have anything in stealth and I don't have anything in performance.
Well, if I have awe up, she would probably be paying more attention to me than she would be to him.
I'm not sure when both actions were taking place. That's why I let you say your piece, and then he did
I'm
his
thinking
thing.
he's gonna take a picture if he can get one where her face is on it.
Okay.
That's not gonna be as if she has her back to the car that he's sitting in, then he's not gonna take the picture straight away.
Yeah. What I would say is that if Charlotte didn't hit her with the awe until she somehow turned around to look at her, actually, even before, okay, Charlotte would have had to hit her with the awe before she even approached the gate. Or I would say that she would not have been looking in your direction by the time she reached the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you would hit her with the awe before she reaches the gate, then
that was my intent. Yes.
okay,
Because she was walking down the street and I kind of wanted to cut her off.
okay, fair enough then.
It right while she's still on the sidewalk before she gets to the gate. And so it is charisma plus performance difficulty 7. Thank God I have specialties in both.
Mhm.
um, and so I guess I'm gonna be using my graceful charisma specialty. So can somebody roll me 8 dice, please? 10's gonna double.
It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And wait, what's this for?
It's charisma performance.
Oh, okay. What's the diff? Starting diff?
Difficulty 7.
Okay, so you got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 success. Lucky you.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's more successes than I needed.
Mhm.
Um, so in
Oh
that
no,
case,
no, no. This woman's like tapping on the window now. She wants, like, she thinks you're a supermodel or something.
oh no, I'm not. I'm not in the car.
Oh, you're not in the car. Oh,
I'm
okay.
not in the car. I'm on the street. I'm walking towards her.
Well, yeah. Her jaw is dropped, and she
Um,
definitely has your full attention.
yes. I'm not actually sure if Sebastian would fall under the awe since I got 8 successes on that.
Yeah, he would. I think you could be allowed to try to contest it, but I'm gonna have to look up some contest. What the rules for contesting awe is? Because
Um,
okay,
Much about it.
it's
yeah.
going to affect those with a lower willpower rating first.
Mhm.
Um, and it's going to stay in effect for the remainder of the scene or until I choose to drop it. I'm not going to choose to drop it unless it's absolutely necessary.
Let's see. And what's Sebastian's willpower right now?
It's 2.
Oh.
Oh, honey.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think look, to be fair, you get the woman, but poor Sebastian's trapped in your
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So since I don't know that he's in the awe as well, I'm gonna slide my arm through hers and I'm gonna smile up at her and I'm gonna say, uh, me and my friend wondered if we could get an invitation into there. We heard that there's this author that I really like, and I'm hoping to meet him, maybe get his autograph. Um, do you think do you think that you could help us get in?
Oh, are do, are you interested in the occult? She says. She looks
Yes,
like she.
yes, I am. Mostly things that are a little more biblical, but I'm very interested in knowledge of all kinds.
Yeah, she expresses like a great shock and awe, and seems to be very enthusiastic about inviting you in.
What's your name?
She introduces herself as I'll just say June for right now.
Okay, thank you, June. My name is Anna, and I'm so happy you could get us in there.
You know, we've been looking for new blood for quite a while.
Really? Ah, how interesting.
You'd be surprised how few people can actually appreciate the ancient wisdom that our forebears had.
Hmm.
But
I know. You should tell me all about it.
oh, gladly, gladly. Now, there are some things that I will not be allowed to discuss without the approval of the memberships, but I think I can
Of course,
get you in.
I totally understand that. There's actually somebody in there that I really want to meet. I heard that he comes here sometimes, and she's gonna mention the author's name, or not the author's name, but the name of the guy that we're supposed to be meeting.
Mhm.
And Charlotte's gonna say, "Do you know him? Have you met him before? What can you tell me about him? Is he as interesting as they say? I'm so excited. Do you think I could meet him? I really want to get his autograph."
Yeah, she divulges to you that the gentleman's name. Let's see, I'll come up with. Henry. I'll give you a last name later. She
Okay.
refers to him as Henry, and she says, yeah, Henry's been part of the society before she joined, but he's a nice guy, though he kind of keeps to himself.
Okay. Yeah, me and my friend, and she's gonna motion back her head towards Sebastian. Do you ever wanna ride in with us? I would hate for you to have to walk, ruin those nice heels of yours.
I'm sorry, what did you ask her if she would do what?
If she wanted to get in the car to drive up to the building, I would hate for her to ruin those really nice heels of hers,
Oh, yeah.
or to like accidentally break a heel on her way in.
Oh, guys, sorry, the way I was describing, at least what I saw in my head.
She's walking to the entrance.
Yeah, you don't have to drive up to the entrance.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Charlotte's gonna wave Sebastian over, like out of the car.
Sebastian's going to put his phone away and get out. Try not to overly look at Charlotte.
And I'm gonna lock the. I have my keys to the car. I'm gonna lock it, and we're gonna get out. We're gonna go into the building. Walking with the amazing June to meet this Henry fellow, and hopefully acquire that book.
Okay, well, you hear June just prattling along. She's
Mhm.
asking you some questions yourself. In between her prattling, she's talking about different schools of mysteries and thoughts.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. What is Charlotte's occult rating?
A single. I have only a dot in occult, so she knows a little bit,
Mhm.
but not a lot.
Okay. And Sebastian, what's your occult rating?
I'm just finding it as we speak. 1 dot.
You have 1 dot too?
Yeah.
Okay. Some of it you've heard. It's mostly
Mhm.
layman stuff,
Okay.
There's also a few things that you haven't heard, but I'm pretty sure you can just pull off again since you have her struck with your awe as just like, oh yeah, yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, oh that's cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
She's uh Charlotte's really not super interested. Like she's faking it. If you want me to make a subterfuge roll, I will.
No. Eight success on your awe. No, it's fine. Totally fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, you do see that she has a special set of keys, and I mean they look very ornate, like they're made just for anyone with a membership here. And she opens the door. The lights are on inside. It kind of looks like a very small museum when you walk in. There's
Okay.
shelves decorated with books and other little knickknacks and collections. It
Mhm.
doesn't really strike you what it was on the outside, but she graciously invites you guys in and closes the door behind you. And
Okay.
she'll call out for, oh, where is that man? Henry. But you don't hear an answer right away. She looks exasperated. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my darling. I don't know where he is. Would you like to have a seat or something to drink? Are you hungry? I get you
No,
anything?"
I had dinner before we came. I'm actually gonna, since I still have heightened senses activated, I haven't turned it off. I'm going to listen for him, and I do have acute senses hearing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So, so if he's like walking around upstairs, maybe, or any of his breathing, um,
Let's see. I'll roll your perception alertness.
that's 5 dice.
And since you have your heightened senses on,
And acute senses, I believe, lowers the difficulty by 2.
okay, I'll give you just a difficulty of 4. It should be pretty easy. Oh, there you go. 3 success.
I'm old, so all of my difficulties are going to be lowered sometimes. Anyways, what were you saying? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, you can hear some small foot shuffling from upstairs, but it's not. I mean, given that it's your powers that you're using, it's probably not evident to
Mhm.
June over here.
Okay. And so I'm gonna let June kind of prattle on a little bit. Um, and when we walk inside, do we see a staircase leading up?
Hmm? I'm sorry.
When, that's okay. When we walk inside the building, do we hear a or do we see a staircase leading up?
Not right away. Not right
Okay.
away. You can see. You could see like there's definitely two other rooms
Hmm.
adjacent on one side and one to the other in the main hall that you're in.
Okay. All right. So, um, I'd like to get out of earshot of June. Um,
Yeah, she'll start. I would say that if you keep your if you keep your aspects heightened senses on, her talking is gonna really start.
okay.
The mic.
I'm gonna flip it off for the time being because it doesn't like I have to spend blood to use it. Um, and I'm gonna pull Sebastian to the side, kind of away from her, and I'm gonna whisper to him, "There's somebody upstairs."
I see.
Um,
He doesn't look like he thinks twice about people upstairs right now.
Yeah, yeah.
and she's
Kind of like and.
I'm
I,
actually
I, yeah.
sorry. I'm actually gonna start. I'm gonna flip heightened senses back on, and I'm going to switch it to sight, and I want to start scanning the bookshelves for the title of the book. I'm also looking around for security cameras of any kind in the building.
Looking for other security cameras. Okay.
Yes.
Give me a perception check. What's your pool?
What?
Perception tech.
I don't have anything in technology, so it'd just be perception.
Mm, I'll give you a perception alertness, but the difficulty, even with your heightened senses, I'm gonna have to set it at like 8.
That's okay. That's 5 dice.
Otherwise, you could just put Sebastian to use.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. He is very techy, isn't he?
He's a computer guy. Basically,
Okay.
you'd come to him with anything regarding computers, and he would also be able to develop stuff for you.
Okay. She's gonna turn to Sebastian and tell him to start looking around for security cameras of any kind.
Yep.
Because we don't necessarily want anybody knowing we were here.
Of course.
And if we have to get rid of like security tapes, we can do that. No problem.
Yep. He's gonna pull out what appears to be like a small earpiece, and put it in, and then act like he's on a phone call as he looks around.
Okay.
What would the role be? That would be technology and
Perception technology.
perception. That's the first aid. Yeah, so that's 8d10.
Oh no. If you have knowledge of it, I'm gonna set it at difficulty 6. I was gonna let Charlotte try to listen for any kind of like machine wearing, but no, you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
better it's better if he does that and I look for the book.
Sebastian knows what security cameras. He could probably take one of the security cameras, put it apart, and then put it back together before anyone would have figured out what he was doing. So I would be rolling. That's perception and technology for the dice, right?
Technology, yeah.
Mhm.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count.
Okay, you're able to. I'll say that you're able to spot the cameras in this room, and you can easily figure out how to dismantle them. It's not really hard. If you can find the fuse box, you know that you could easily flip the switch on them.
Yeah.
Although you might not know what else they are wired
Other
to.
kinds of security they might have installed. That's
Right,
correct.
right, right,
Exactly.
right, right. But um, whether or not, if you know if someone's listening, watching, that isn't readily apparent. But I'll just say that from here on out, when you do walk through this place, you'll be able to spot every security camera because that's pretty good success.
Yep.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he would also be able to notice what kind of cameras they're using as to blind angles and such.
Right, right, right. Um. So, June will say, why don't you two have a seat here, and I'll go see if I can find Henry.
Okay.
Yep.
So she's going to disappear for a moment. Now you can take your time, maybe do a little exploring on the lower floor. Although I'll give this to you for free. When you see June disappear, she goes to the right of the room, down another corridor, and you see that is divided by another door, one that it takes to unlock. And when she closes it, you hear it lock back.
Uh,
Yeah. But for the most part, you in this space you can explore. You can take notice of anything that's in the shelves or bookcases.
I am looking around for the book TM. Um, the book that we're supposed to be acquired for Alexander.
Um, I'll
I
say I'll say
don't
right.
think we'll find it in here.
Yeah, I would say within like 15 minutes, you're not going to find it right there at all. What you do see is you see some pictures of some of the several members of the society throughout the years. I'll give it away since you have the time that you notice that there are only a few individuals that appear in the majority of the pictures, while it seems like everyone else has either left or joined later on in time.
How old do these pictures look?
I would say that some of these pictures go back towards the 30s, right? Back, where you have black and whites.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if this is contradicting Irish history. I'm not too familiar with what the 30s were like over there,
Mhm.
so I'm
Mhm.
kind of only judging from what I know in
Okay.
U.S. culture. Um, but yeah, matter of fact, you can even see some time stamps. These look like pictures where there are group photos. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. Huh. So, is there? You said that there was some of the same people in a lot of the pictures. Is there a like um I know like a plaque or something on the pictures, like um people's names or anything like that?
You see some names. You see some names. You've seen you see Henry's name. I'll give it to you that his last name is Henry Cabot. Um, I mean
Um,
there's mhm.
question. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But I'm not gonna say that anything. None of these names are familiar to you, really.
Okay. Um, when I'm examining the pictures, is there anything about him that necessarily stands out? Like in the pictures, does he actually age, or do his looks stay the same?
No, he ages. Yeah.
He ages. Okay, so all right, cool. Um, hmm, all right, that's what I needed to know. Um, all right, cool, sweet. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna take some pictures, of kind of like the surroundings, um, things like that. Um, and I'd like to activate heightened senses, hearing. I'd like to listen in and see if the people upstairs are talking.
Um. Okay.
And I want to know what they're saying to each other, essentially.
Let's see. Hold on a sec. I'll roll this for you. So that was 8d10
For what? 8d10 for what?
for your height and for to listen in. Because
Um,
they are pretty high, and there's other acoustic things that are blocking you, so it might be a little
so
too.
it'd be perception alertness, and I have the acute sense of hearing, so that would just like negate the difficulty by two. Plus, you would add what I guess whatever significant um increase to the difficulty.
See. So I'll set this at a simple 6.
Okay.
Two success. You're able to hear that it does sound like an alarming conversation from one end, but you're not really sure who exactly seems alarmed.
Hmm. Is there any when she went up? Did she the conversation's taking place upstairs? When she went upstairs for the did the stairs creak at all?
Sorry,
I don't
say
think
again?
she went upstairs, did she?
Yeah, because the guy was upstairs. I thought.
Um, well, I'm thinking, hmm, you only made out one sound of feet, so
Okay.
I would say it's a reasonable guess to make.
Um. Hmm. Um. Hmm. I'd like to get closer, possibly to the sound of the conversation without going up the stairs.
Um, mm, it wouldn't help you none while you're here. I mean, you can move closer to that door, but then you're
Yeah.
breaking through it.
I'd like to move closer to that door. Is there like a bookshelf or something near the door?
No, there's not nothing near the door, but there's a lock on it.
Okay. Um, so I guess I'd like to stand close to the door as surreptitiously as possible.
Again, I'm gonna say like the sounds coming from upstairs, listening through the door doesn't help too much.
Okay. Um, um, I'd like to I'd like to stealth upstairs.
I'm sorry, say again.
I would like to use stealth and go upstairs.
You'd have to somehow bypass the locked door first.
Okay, so all right. Okay, I understand. I was like, I guess I was misunderstanding you there a little bit.
Oh, that
Um,
was no. He said that when the door closed behind her, the lock clicked.
okay. All right. Um, hmm. I'm gonna because I for I have 4 dots of presence. I am going to use summon,
Mhm.
and what this allows me to do is it
Oh,
allows me to
I know what someone does. It's fine.
um
Well, yeah. I'll just give
and
it to you for free if that's what you're gonna do.
yes. Do you want me to spend the blood for it?
Uh, how much blood have you spent so far?
I've only spent the one
Yeah,
for
that
the
should be.
awe, and the awe is still active.
Okay. Yeah, you can spend the blood for it.
Okay.
And you might hear a sudden shaking, like a sudden jump, coming from above, and there'll only be a couple of minutes before you hear like the clicking, clacking of heels coming towards the door, and
Okay.
suddenly, like in a burst of surprise, oh, I'm so sorry, my friends. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to leave you here. I totally forgot. And then like you were in my head. Is everything all right? You see
Is
this poor
is
woman.
everything is everything okay?
Oh,
You've been up there for quite some time, and we're just
oh,
wondering if there was something wrong. We heard raised voices.
oh, yes. Henry is such a recluse. He is hard to have meet people. It
Oh,
can take some time getting him to open up.
I see. Do you think he'd be willing to meet with me?
That's what I'm trying to work on, dear. He is a bear best not poked, but he has to be massaged.
I'm very good at massaging bears. Um, and take me upstairs. I'd like to meet him.
Um, you know, I'll give it to you that she's not going to resist you, asking this request. Even though
Mhm.
you see that it's kind of grinding against her innate better judgment, but
Right. Okay. So in
she'll
okay.
capitulate. She'll definitely capitulate.
Okay. So the cool thing about me is I have a single dot in dominate, and I'm gonna tell her to stay.
Okay. What's your manipulation intimidation pool?
Manipulation, intimidation. That is 4 dice, but I have manipulation and misdirection as a specialty. I don't necessarily know that that would come into play here, but you know,
Okay, so I'm sorry. What's that dice pool? I missed
it's
that.
gonna be 5. But I have a manipulation specialty called misdirection.
Um, I don't think that would work with a straightforward
Okay, so
command.
it would just be 5 dice then.
You barely get it. You barely get it, but she'll stay.
Okay. And I'm going to stay. I'm gonna tell her to stay, and that I'll be right back. And I'm gonna motion for Sebastian to uh to watch her, and to let me know if anybody else comes in. Actually, before I don't necessarily know if I would be allowed to do this while they're upstairs, but I'd like to lock the front door. If not, that's okay. I didn't mention it. I'm just thinking about it now.
I'm pretty
Um,
sure that the only ones able to enter are those who can access the lock
that's
on the outside.
fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, I will tell her to stay. And I'm gonna motion for Sebastian to watch her, and
He's gonna
I'm gonna go
he's gonna not and do it.
and I'm gonna go upstairs.
And Sebastian, what? I'll say when Charlotte goes upstairs, you'll be able to regain some of your composure.
Yep.
I'll say the awe will wear off. So Sebastian, let's give Sebastian a little bit of time here.
Okay.
Since you're here, um, what else would you do? You can explore the other room. It's on the other
I think
side.
he's going to actually ask her to maybe show him around because he has quite an interest in the occult and would like to know more about this society.
Um, you see that
Trying to find a way to keep her busy with him.
um, what you can discover about this society immediately at hand is that they seem to have a lot of endowments, and at the same time also have handed back like a lot of charitable contributions to smaller charities. You can see like awards and plaques and things like that about everywhere. So they're a pretty well connected group.
Oh, okay, that's definitely interesting. But yeah, he's gonna try and use it as a way to ask her about the different stuff they've done and such, to keep her busy and to slowly try and work his way in on her, using his fair social skills and part of his education.
I'm sorry, just repeat that last part.
And using part of his education, he's fairly educated within technology and science. So he's
And
gonna explain it off as something like he's looked into the logical world, but he has uh, he has had ever since coming to Dublin, he's had this sense that there's more to the world than what can be explained through science. That he wants to know more about it.
oh, this is what you want to converse with the
Yeah.
woman.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, okay. Uh, yeah, I'll allow you that. When you go back upstairs, you can make idle conversation with her, although since she's still in the grip of awe. Wait, I'm sorry. Sorry. Did you leave her? Did you leave June behind, or did you leave her with
Yeah,
you?
because command is
Right. Right.
essentially
You're
like a,
right. I'm sorry. Yeah. You actually say. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I forgot that part.
because it's only a one word command, literally. I simply told her to stay.
Hmm.
So stay could technically speaking I could be telling her to just stay where she's at, like don't move from this spot,
Hmm.
or stay downstairs. Since I'm not trying to like completely control her, I just
No,
need
I
to
get
get
you. I get
downstairs
you.
and talk to the dude. Um, I basically just want her to stay downstairs.
No. I get you. Okay. So Sebastian, yeah, you can have a conversation with this woman. You find that she is pretty knowledgeable about about the subjects, some subjects related in science. Also, you know what? She even has a college degree. She'll at least tell you that she has certain college
Yeah.
degrees in the academia of science related to science. Uh, you do. I will say that from a brief conversation, you can learn that her main interest when it comes to the occult is bridging the divide between the formulaic science and what is considered the primordial elements that
Yep.
appear in other occult sides. I get with your one level of cult, I think you would probably grasp this as simple
She's looking
pagan.
into the way of alchemy
Yeah,
of some kind.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, he's gonna turn to that and use his science knowledge to strike up a conversation with her about to turn it into the topic that she fancies here about the combination of modern science and how to use it with the primordial elements and such.
Yeah, she thinks that's highly fascinating, and she'll she'll ask you that if you're interested in joining their society. Um, again, she reiterates that it's been a while since they've had some new members. It's not quite what it's been since the advent of the internet.
Of course, he will be. Sebastian is interested in joining, so yes, he will definitely show his interest.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Not just he's gonna accept her offer to join,
Mhm.
and not just as his own personal job, but also in a personal sense that he wants to learn more.
I will say, out of character, you're gonna want to be really careful with that.
Yeah, this is mainly just to learn more, but it's also part of infiltrating the place because there may be more people here at another point in time.
Of course.
So it's partially to deepen relations with the local community as well.
I'm sorry, you asked what? You asked her what? I thought you were talking Charlotte for a second.
Yep.
Sorry, what?
What did Sebastian ask June, or what did he say?
No, Sebastian didn't ask June anything. He just accepted that she suggested he should join the club. That
Oh,
he would accept that invitation.
oh, okay. So she'll actually bring it to the office, like yeah, there's like a little office somewhere, and she'll just like give you like a ream and stack of paperwork. She'll say like, oh, you can fill this out, and she'll leave you and just back to us. It's just like formalities and crap.
Yep. He's gonna ask her to just stay by him in case he has any questions about anything during the paperwork.
Um, she'll just say what she'll ask probably a little bit about your own background, just
Yep.
making a casual conversation.
He's gonna make sure not to breach anything and just talk a bit about his mainly talk about his education.
Well, she thinks that you're a very bright young gentleman.
Yep. As well as she's probably gonna think he's charming because he's gonna make a couple of jokes specifically pointed around the way his education and the occult would both work and not work at the same time.
Mhm. She says, yes, it's something that I believe this generation can bring to the table with the technology that is so far more familiar to them than someone like me who was fascinated when the first telephone was developed.
Of course, because as we all know, new times bring new people, and abstract thoughts can sometimes help further any any field substantially.
Mm-hmm. Um, she would say it. Well, we do have some doctors on hand, but it would go a long ways if we had someone who was more knowledgeable in the theoretical sciences involving computers.
Of course. Otherwise, I would say I'm fairly well versed in how computers work. And then he flashes her a really really knowing quick grin.
Oh, wonderful. Perhaps we could also commission you if you would like to put some volunteer work in working on the society's more online presence. We are not hoarders of knowledge as much as some may think, though we like to safeguard knowledge that we feel might be used for ill.
Of course, I would definitely be able to look into it and see what can be done to allow you a more modern appearance, as well as how to utilize the modern technology to your benefit without giving too much away.
We have heard of things that exist out there on the internet that are possibly digital archives. She says the phrase as if she's trying to really understand it. Digital archives of perhaps older manuscripts. It's always been my concern if there was a way, if we can gloss over many of them just to verify what is false, what is not.
Of course, but it would not be too difficult to get access to that. And for the sake of the society, I could probably find a way to make sure that anyone who would want access to it could be granted access to it within the right of the administration here.
All right. Yeah, she says, oh, so she'll say, I think this is something that perhaps we should discuss when you're a full-fledged member. I would hate to give away certain details that might not be my privilege to give away. But yeah, let's transition the scene back to Charlotte, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So Charlotte, so you've gone upstairs and you come up to another floor. You can see that there's somewhat of a small, cozy little library of books. You could tell that the room is lit, and it does have the faint smell of coffee about in the air, so you can tell someone's here.
Okay.
And you can definitely smell that there was a cigarette being burnt.
Right.
Yeah, so what do you do?
I'm gonna. When you say a library, is it like a room full of books, or is there just several bookcases?
Bookcases.
I'm gonna. I'd like to turn on smell, heightened sense of smell, and I'm kind of taking a few deep breaths that I don't need to take. I'm kind of I'd like to sift through the cigarette smoke and the coffee to see if there is the scent of cologne in the air.
Cologne? No, you don't smell quite cologne, but you definitely smell a body odor.
Okay. And so I'd like to pinpoint where it's coming from, and turn on hearing, I think, to see if that individual is anxious, if they're breathing quickly, if they are breathing at all, that sort of thing.
Mhm. What you pick up is I'll give it to you. There's a certain nervousness to the person.
hmm
Though you can't tell what he's also very excited at the time. I'd give you that.
Okay. I'd like to walk in the room, and I do still have awe up.
You'd like to do what now?
I'd like to walk into the room where that person is, and I do still have awe up.
Okay. When you walk into the room, and I suppose since you're not trying to hide your presence, you want him to look in your direction.
Yes, I do.
The man kind of falls back in his chair, and he looks awestruck, but not quite the level of awe that you were kind of thinking, or like
Okay.
terrified.
He's terrified.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, that's interesting. Um, in that case, I'd like to use aura perception. Can somebody roll me 3 dice, difficulty 5?
Oh, 3d10. You got one success.
Uh, is he? Okay, so one success only tells me if he's a vampire or not.
He's definitely not a vampire.
Okay. All right. Cool. So in that case, I can't necessarily read his aura. And so Charlotte's gonna she walks into the room and she sees this man sitting down in this chair, and she'll actually seem kind of, I suppose, genuinely concerned, considering Toreadors are um pretty close to humanity, and she'll look at him and she'll say, looks surprised almost. She'll be like, "Is everything okay?"
Um, he'll just start stuttering. Who the hell are you? Did June let you in? I said I didn't want to be seen or have any guests here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, June's actually downstairs talking to a friend of mine. I was so curious that I just kind of I came up here and I just wanted to see the what kind of books you had. I'm sorry if I disturbed you. You're Henry, right? You're Henry Cavill, Cabot, right? You're Henry Cabot, right?
He gets up and he brushes himself off. Yes, it's Henry Cabot.
Um,
And does this look like a public library to you?
uh, no, I'm simply just interested in the occult. Um, I've heard a lot about you, and I wanted to meet you and see if you'd be willing to give me your autograph. And she'll actually kind of give like a fake nervous laugh when she says that.
He kind of looks like exhausted with this conversation, but he's like, yeah, sure, but who can I make this autograph out to?
You can make this autograph out to to Anna. My name is Anna.
And well, he looks for a pen, and he kind of looks at
Oh,
you just for a moment. He's like, is there a book you want me to sign or something?
um, I'm actually I'm in a market. I've heard about this book that I'm really interested in. And a friend of mine, I think, actually told me that you might know where I could find it. She's actually gonna tell him the name of the book and the author.
I'm sorry. Just say that again. I got distracted for a second.
She's gonna basically what Charlotte's gonna do is she's gonna be saying, yeah, there's a friend of mine who's interested in this book that and my friend of mine mentioned this book to me and it sounds really interesting and they said that you might have it or you might know somebody that has it. And I was wondering if what I could do to get that book from you or from if you know who has it.
And what book is that, ma'am?
She's gonna relay the name of the book.
His face goes very cold, very pale. He says, "I don't know how you've come to know about that book, but you don't want that book. It's a fairy
Um,
tale. Trust me."
um, so
I'm sorry. What's that?
seems everything went quiet.
Are you still there? I can hear you.
Yeah, I think she might have disappeared for a bit.
Okay.
Oh, she seems to have dropped. There we
Hi.
go.
Sorry about that. If I open a tab up on my phone, the call will drop sometimes. All right. What was the last thing? What was the last thing you heard me say?
I think that was about the that he said something about we don't want the book and being paid.
Okay. So in response, Charlotte will say, yes, I really want that book, um, and I will pay for that book.
I don't want your money, ma'am. For your own sake, don't even go after it. Just leave it alone. Let it die with me.
What do you mean, let it die with you?
I'm the only one that knows where to get it from. And it's an infection. If you try and get to it, it will spread. Let it go.
Um, hmm. All right. In that case, Charlotte's going to say, listen, I'm here as a favor for a friend, and I really need that book. What do you want for it?
Madam, I told you I want nothing. Your friend, whoever wants it, has no idea what will happen if that book is unleashed on the world again.
Oh, you poor mortal. She doesn't say that. That's me as a player saying that. I'm going to I'm gonna use dominate and I'm gonna tell him to sit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he'll sit. He'll sit.
Okay. And I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna lock the door. Is there a desk in here?
A desk? Yeah, you can find one.
Okay. I'm searching around for a journal or a notebook, something like that, on his desk or in his desk.
You're looking at it. You're trying to see if there's a journal or something on his desk.
Yeah, essentially.
I wouldn't say a journal. You can find some newspapers, some things underlined. Maybe.
Yeah, any information on the book at all would be cool.
Oh yeah. That's If you give me an investigation roll at a difficulty 9, all you need is one single success, no willpower. I'll give you something.
Okay, just investigation.
Well, perception investigation if you're going to be looking.
Okay, 5 dice.
Okay. Oh, nothing. Does Sebastian want to give it a try?
With
Fashion downstairs.
I'm downstairs.
True. True. Um, technically that would be a botch, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna say that you don't really see anything that's standing out.
Okay.
You don't even know like what the book is supposed to look like. But I will tell you that there really is nothing in here that even mentions that exact title.
Okay.
Our best bet is the actual guy.
Okay. Hmm. All right. So no journal, no book. Um, I'm gonna. Hmm. Are there any drawers in the desk?
Any journals?
No, drawers, like like a drawer.
Um, yeah, there's a drawer.
Um, is it locked?
You could easily break it, even if it was locked.
I don't want to do that because then that would just kind of make my presence known, and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna walk over to Henry and I'm just gonna say keys.
You could find keys. You could definitely find keys.
And I'm gonna see if any of those keys fit that lock.
You'll find one that does fit it, and inside, I'll just tell you, uh, there's some of his personal information, but no references to the book.
Okay. Again, no journals or anything like that.
No journal like that.
Um. So interestingly enough, I'd like to make a perception investigation check to see if there's any secret compartments in this desk.
Nope, no secret compartment.
Okay. Um. All right. Um. Hmm. Okay. So I'm gonna walk over back over to Henry and I'm gonna sit down and
Okay, so you sit next down. So you sit down to him, and
I think she dropped again.
sorry.
There we go.
Sorry. Okay, so can somebody tell me what entrancement does?
no, actually, I don't have that one on hand. Does anyone have that book on hand?
It's a presence power. Um,
It's just to convince another to serve you.
okay, that
They will
works.
be enchanted with you and decide to serve your needs.
That definitely will work. What's the role for it?
Let me just see. From what I have here, they use charisma plus acting, difficulty 7, but it could be different here. That's for level 1 or for entrancement level 3. It's appearance plus empathy to
Appearance plus
entrance the subject
empathy.
difficulty of the target's willpower.
Okay.
And the number of successes determine how long they are entranced to you.
Okay. I would like to try and entrance him in that case.
So just repeat that last bit. Caitlin?
I would like to try and entrance him. I want to use entrancement on him.
Okay. And what's your dice pool for that?
I have no empathy. What empathy?
Okay, but you can
Um,
still track as the talent. Okay.
because okay, so I'll still try because it's a talent. I have a 4 in appearance and I have a specialty in unconventional looks.
Okay, that can work. All
So
right,
he might be appreciative of that.
okay,
And difficulty would be the target's willpower.
fair enough.
And I'd actually like to burn a willpower. Can I do that?
Does the write-up say that that's allowable, or does it mention it? If it doesn't mention it, I'd allow it.
It does not mention anything about using willpower to improve it.
Okay, and the entrancement will allow her to.
It would basically make the target entranced with her. It would be enchanted with her and desire to serve her needs
Oh,
for
okay.
an amount equal to the number of successes.
Oh, okay. So we'll answer whatever question she wants. Got you. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yep.
So that's
So that is it's 4 dice with an automatic success from the willpower.
Yep.
does it say?
And
I'm sorry.
they still retain their freedom of action and creativity, of course.
Okay, you've got 5 success right there.
Okay. So how long would he be entranced with me then?
How many successes?
5.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 successes. That's according to this an entire year.
Yeah.
It sucks for him. Henry, please just tell me where the book is.
This is when the fun begins.
Yeah. He would say, doorway's at my house. You look inside, and you read, and you see, you will begin a journey that is trepidatious, and you may not come back from.
I'm not going to read the book. I just want the book.
You don't get the whole book without reading it. You think the book will give itself to someone who cannot contain its knowledge, who cannot survive its truth. The book is not just words on a page. It is truth. It is experience. It is just a blank page to someone who cannot or will not understand.
Henry, I want you to go home. I want you to get the book, and I want you to bring it back here.
You see that he sighs. He really sighs, and he's going to do as you say. But,
Okay.
So June is still in the building. She'll see Henry leave, and she'll just ask, "Oh, did something happen with Henry? Is everything all right?"
Oh, he's fine. He'll be all right. And I've got June, you look really tired. I think you should probably go home. And I'd like to I don't necessarily know that I can give her suggestions using awe. It just had kind of like I just gained her attention.
No, she's still under your. I'll give you. I mean, I'll just give it to you. She's still under your
Okay.
awe, and you can just make a slight suggestion of doing something, not something that would act against her nature
Mm-hmm.
or too alarming. But,
Right.
yeah.
I'll just be like, June, you look appalling. Honey, you should go home and get some sleep.
I think you're right. I spend way too much time here, but I have to show you darlings out. Unfortunately, can't quite.
Oh, it's okay. Henry said we could wait here for him. He'll be back soon. But if you think it's necessary, you could stay.
Perhaps, perhaps I'm pretty finished with my application. Perhaps you could go home for the night, and I would go and hand this in now.
I'm sorry. What did Sebastian say?
That he's finished with the application, so he wouldn't need her help to finish the rest of it.
Oh, okay. She'll definitely she'll just file some things, Like you see some of the applications she leaves in a certain drawer, like some of it, and then the other says she'll take this and process this home for you.
Yep.
She seems very adamant that actually went through it. You actually hear her say, "My God, we haven't had a new member since the early '90s." She chuckles.
And
So does
Sebastian is gonna.
so so
Is,
does she actually go home?
Yeah, she'll go home. You don't interrupt her.
Sebastian,
how did
I'd
it?
like
I'll assume you want to talk about upstairs.
no, not particularly. I need you to do something for me
Yeah.
that I would very much appreciate. You doctor security footage.
I could probably wipe the entire night.
Could you do that
Sure. I just need to gain
after?
access to their database.
Yes, after he gets back,
Of course.
and could you possibly make it so that the security cameras malfunction in some capacity
Sure. I can make it look
to
like
to
tonight
make it?
never happened and they've had
Yes,
technical difficulties the entire day.
yes, please.
Of course. I just need to find their main control center.
Okay.
At which point Sebastian will begin to move around and look for some kind of room where they keep their security system. I don't imagine it would be under lock and key for the inside, considering most of these are way up in the age and probably not too wise with computers.
What does he do with computers?
Sebastian's going to be going around to look for where they keep their security stuff.
Oh, yes. Well, you can see that inside the office there is one terminal that it's already on. You can pretty much see that they can view the security footage through there. It can be controlled through there, but if you wanted to like cut off the main power, you'll see that from the computer that the wiring is somewhere down in the basement.
Oh well, if there's wiring going down there, then he would just need to go to the wiring by the computer.
If okay,
Well,
because
yeah, like
I was gonna say if he's going down into the basement, Charlotte will tell him to be careful.
Oh, he's not going into the basement. He's just
Okay.
going to mess around with the computer, and then he's going
Okay.
to make sure that it looks like something's been tampered with. And then
Yep.
by the time someone comes to look at it, it will look like it's rectified. Yet today will be completely missing.
Okay. Charlotte's actually she's gonna give Sebastian a really genuine, kind of heartwarming smile, and she'll say, "We make a good team."
He's going to agree, and he's still going to look a bit after her as he goes there to attempt it, unless someone wants to stop him
Where is he going?
to the computer in the office.
Oh no, I mean I don't imagine that there's anybody else in the building right now, so I don't think anybody else is gonna stop you.
yeah, there's like no one else in there.
Okay, then Sebastian's going to go in and he's going to do his stuff. Basically, going to make it look like early in the day, half of the cameras went fuzzy, and then the other half of the cameras went fuzzy after a bit, and the rest of the day is erased.
Yep, you can successfully do that. You have all the time in the world. No one's impeding you, and you have time to figure out anything like that.
Yep, and then once that is done, he's going to make sure that the cameras don't turn back on again until the next day at what appears to be random times. As if they've been having some kind of temporary malfunction, and then the next day they seem to be working normally again.
Yeah, you could do that. Like, you're creating like a record of almost like what can mimic what looks like a power surge. I get you.
Yep. It would probably be the easiest role I'd ever have to do if I had to do it.
how long does it take for Henry to go home and come back?
Maybe about 15 minutes.
Okay. That's definitely more than enough time. So I guess Sebastian will do his thing, and I guess Henry can come back with the book.
Yep. Sebastian will be out with her again when Henry returns with the book.
Henry, when Henry returns, he just gives you a. It looks. The binder's very, very old, but it's also very thin. And there's only a few pages you could tell inside. And he actually pulls it out of like a paper bag sleeve. And he trembles as he gives it to you, and he just tells you, "Please, please don't do this. Please don't do this."
It's okay, Henry. Everything will be all right. And does he look tired at all? Bruce,
Mm-hmm.
does he look tired at all?
Not quite. Well, yeah, he might look a little tired. You did just tell him to go home and come back, and he's probably had to do some things that
Okay.
a little bit of an exertion. But he
Okay.
looks more defeated.
um,
Oh, this
So-
is going to make Sebastian look a bit suspicious because he's going to be wondering what exactly happened upstairs.
and Charlotte will she'll stick out her hand and she'll tell Henry, "Give me the book."
Oh, he'll hand it over. No problem.
And Charlotte will slip it into her side of her purse. She'll close her purse up, and she will. She's going to tell Henry that he should go home, and um, she's going to tell Henry, "Go home to your wife and get some sleep." I don't necessarily know, like, out of character, can I make him forget about my character or not?
Not without
I wouldn't.
certain, disciplines.
Okay.
And you don't
You'd
have
need
Dominate
to-
3.
No, I
You'd need
don't.
to be able to wipe his memory
Yes.
or alter it.
That's okay. That's all right. They all have a security footage of us being here, and they can't prove it. Um, before we leave, I would like to wipe. I would like to wipe the desk, anything I touched, or anything like that, of any of my fingerprints. I'd like to, if there is any of my hair, I'd like to pick it up and make sure that there is zero trace of the fact that either of us have been here.
Okay, no problem.
Sebastian
all
said
come
going
to
to be as thorough, considering he just applied for membership. Has plans on using the society for some stuff.
That does not necessarily mean that you were there. I'm pretty sure. Well, June. I mean, June is going to vouch for you guys that she let you in.
Yes.
So if anybody were to discover anything, it's not going to lead to like a criminal investigation.
It's probably not going to be a criminal investigation over a book
No,
being handed
I
over.
don't think so. Henry was just convinced that he should give my character the book because she really wanted it, and that's okay. And she's gonna Charlotte, like I said, she's gonna clear any trace, any physical trace, so hair, fingerprints, that kind of thing, because she's gonna be a little bit paranoid. She's kind of paranoid right now, And um, at that point, after everything's done, I guess she's gonna double check with Sebastian to make sure that there's that the security footage is okay, that there's not going to be any trace of us being here.
And Sebastian's going to look at the cameras for one moment before turning back to her and going, "Oh, the cameras are currently out. They will not be functioning again until tomorrow."
Okay. All right. I think we've got what we came for, don't you?
I believe we do.
More than you bargained for.
This
So,
is the amusing part.
so let me just ask you guys real quick: are you guys cracking open that book, or what?
Absolutely not.
I think first we're going to go out into the car,
I'm not opening the book.
and then we should
We're-
probably find out. We're not going straight to Alexander with this. Not yet.
I mean, I think that we should. Why do you think that we should not take this back to Alexander?
Because first, I would like to know a bit about what happened upstairs. Because he seemed very both frightened to hand it over and relieved to be rid of it.
Oh, by the way, did you guys leave the premise? Did you guys leave the like, are you having this conversation outside of?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're having this conversation in the car.
Okay.
In the car.
All right, then I'm gonna give this to you guys. You're gonna hear a gunshot go off from inside as you're talking about this whole issue right now.
That's not good. What did you do?
Who, me? The ST? I did nothing. I did nothing. Sorry.
He's actually asking Charlotte about that.
I didn't do
He has
anything.
no clue.
I didn't do anything like that. Because Charlotte probably knows what just happened. All I did was I told him that he should go home to his wife. Oh. Oh God. Oh God.
Did
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck me.
That was probably not the wisest thing to say.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
God,
Can't have an adventure without adversity.
you'll actually notice that Charlotte, she's actually she speaks French, apparently. And she just says shit in French. And probably something along the lines of "God damn it."
Okay, what's your humanity rating?
6.
What's your conviction rating?
This conscience, right?
Yeah, sorry, conscience. My bad.
2, because it's not conviction because I'm on humanity. It's only 2.
You're able to hold it down. Like you feel bad, but like, damn, you did not ask for that.
Yeah, she actually slams her hands on the steering wheel. When she, like after like a minute, she's processing what just happened, and she does slam her very fine, soft hands against the leather steering wheel. All right.
Sebastian does not portray any emotion except a bit of shock at the sound of the gun.
Charlotte's gonna turn around to look at Sebastian, and she's just gonna say, she's basically gonna tell him what went down upstairs. Basically, she went through the desk. She was looking for shit, etc. Basically, everything that you heard her doing or heard me saying, she tells you. At the end, you did hear her tell him to go home to his wife and get some sleep.
And Sebastian's gonna be quick to put the logic pieces together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think his wife may be dead.
Oh wait, you
I'm
think?
pretty sure that you're right that his wife is already dead.
Wait, are you
I
guys
was.
going back inside?
No,
Oh, okay.
we're not going back inside.
Well,
Yeah, I
no,
don't.
that's where the gunfire came from. I was
Yes, that is where the gunfire came from.
Yeah, I was imagining you guys are in the car outside of the height of this cult society place.
Yeah, because we don't want to be inside when the gun goes off and we're the only strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can assume that Henry has killed himself. You can assume that if you want to. If you want to go back and look,
Yeah.
you can.
I
Uh,
don't think going back right now is the good choice to
I
do.
don't think so because if somebody heard a gunshot, they're about to call the police, and that. While Charlotte does probably feel like shit right now about that, that was not necessarily. Well, I mean, technically it was on her, but it wasn't, because she had no idea that his wife's probably dead. Um, damn it.
And although Sebastian's going to look at her and say, "We should drive to the to where we first met,
Yes.
and then take
Um,
it from there," because pretty soon I'm certain that someone's going to come and investigate into this, and we should probably
yeah.
not be parked outside talking.
No, we shouldn't. I'm gonna. She's gonna turn the engine over, and they're gonna drive back to the St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Yep.
She tells Sebastian, "Don't open that book."
There is no reason to open the book. However, I'm not sure if we should hand it over to Alexander straight away. Because if what the two of you were talking about, this book may contain more power, then someone should be handed right now.
But the thing is, he's supposed to be protecting it. He's supposed to be safeguarding it, supposedly. We can. I
Yes,
will. I think that we should hand it over to him, but we should caution him not to open it.
we could safeguard it for a day or two before we go to see him.
Do you want to give it to him together? Do you want us to do it? You to do it, or I to do it?
I think we should do it together, if anything.
Okay. Um, Alexander has asked me to evaluate you.
Of course.
And you did good, kid. You
Thank
did
you.
good. Um, you did good. I'm impressed. Um,
I certainly hope so.
yeah, I'm
Well,
impressed.
I managed to also secure a membership for future reference. It seems that
Okay.
they are looking into accessing the modern era, which means that hopefully I can connect
Okay.
to other occult places around the world in
Okay. Um,
for future searches.
I will ask you, however, please don't tell Alexander what that man did. Let me do that.
Oh, that is entirely on you. My
Oh yeah,
my conscience my conscience for that doesn't exist.
I know. I also think that he may take it a little easier coming from me.
Of course, well, you were the only person of us to deal with him directly. Although I think the better option here would have been to persuade him to give up his protection of the book and promise to safeguard it uh, instead of just taking it directly off him.
Well,
It's more a different approach to acquiring it.
of course, I understand that. I don't necessarily know that that was as subtle as we wished it to be.
I
Unfortunately,
I
uh,
think it was subtle enough right up
I
until we left.
I think it went well, and we didn't get into a fight, so that's good. I'd call that a win.
It was definitely a situation that was beyond your hands.
Yes,
I'll give you that.
It's
I
hard
I will
to
say that I didn't pull the trigger.
Right, right.
and it's hard to act on knowledge you don't have.
That's
Exactly.
true. That is very true.
You guys were
Um,
caught between a rock and a hard place. It's understandable.
a little bit, just a bit. But yes. So we'll drive back. Charlotte will drive them back to the St. Patrick's Church. Do you want to go there, or do you want to go straight to the Royale?
St. Patrick's Church.
Okay,
That's
so they'll go back.
that's the closest to Sebastian's house, and he will walk through the church to get there.
Okay, so we'll go back to
Although
the.
he will ask if she will be okay with him safeguarding the book until we decide to go and hand it in.
She will look at you rather sternly, and she will just say, "Do not open that book."
Oh, Sebastian won't open the book.
Okay, good.
He's just going to
Oh,
make sure that it lies in a place where it's least likely to be found.
okay, good. And before she departs, she will shake Sebastian's hand,
He's going to shake her hand as well and thank her
and
for the as pleasant as it could be evening.
of course, I hope I see you again.
Of course, we will see each other when we go to hand it in, at least.
Of course. All right. And perhaps we can end our scene there.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you, players, for playing, and the watchers for watching. There's another episode of Darkness in Dublin. We will see you all again another night.
Bye.